Hello, this is Dr. Dustin Broombaugh with a short class overview for the Spring 2017 course for EDU 604. Hello students, just like I said, I'm going to go over the Moodle site, the syllabus, the assignments, all that type of stuff. So hopefully you find this part of the course informative so you know exactly what's going on beforehand. Starting at the top, like I said, EDU 604, it's instructional coaching for Spring 2017. We'll start off by taking just a brief review of the syllabus. All right, my name, cell phone, email address is probably the best way to get a hold of me. I check it 5 or 6 times a day. During the day, I am the Director of Human Resources for Madison County Schools here in Richmond, Kentucky. But I check this on my phone quite regularly. So if you haven't run into any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. All right. The textbook for the course, I sent that out in email a couple of times, is right here. Get it wherever you like. Amazon, it's very less expensive on there, but you will need it for the course. Live text, the only time you'll put anything on live text will be the coaching portfolio, the last assignment at the end of the course. So all other assignments are put on Moodle, but the coaching portfolio will be on live text and be submitted on Moodle, both places. All the different course objectives, the EPSP themes. Here's the topics for each week that obviously you can see just by looking at the Moodle site. All right, next how you'll be assessed. I'll show you in a moment the groups that you're all in, but there are 4 reading responses discussions, so there'll be 4 of those that you'll complete. Each of those is worth 10 points, and it'll get you 40 points. Sorry, I just skipped over one. Completion of the peer observation training at 25 points. Next, 4 weeks times 10 points for the discussions, which is 40 points. Here's how you'll be graded on those, but I'll give you some more details about that when we get back in the Moodle site. All right, each person during the discussions, there are 3 groups. Each group has 4 people in it, and of those 4 people, all 4 of you for the 4 weeks will take 1 turn each to be the facilitator for your group. I'll describe that here in a little bit, but the week after you are the facilitator, the week after you are due to a facilitator reflection. Here are all the details for that. And I want to preface good writing. If you cite something, make sure you do it correctly according to APA format. It should be a minimum of 3 pages, probably closer to 4, on your reflection from being the facilitator. Toward the middle of the course, you'll do a reflective paper on the TEL survey for a school that you work at, or the district TEL survey of the district that you work at. If you're not currently employed, excuse me, as an employee in a public school in Kentucky, obviously use a school or district that you're familiar with to do some reflection on that TEL survey. I'll show you where those details are at here in just a moment on the Moodle site. And then another paper will be an analysis paper on the co-teaching videos, which is worth 25 points. All right, and then lastly, the coaching portfolio that I talked about is worth 100 points. You should begin working on this immediately. This is something you can could be and should be working on throughout the entire course. It's worth 100 points. It's due right at the very end of the course. As I said earlier, you'll submit it on live text and in Moodle. And then at the end of week 1, I do ask you to get your ducks in a row, so to speak, put a plan together, describe that plan for me, and it's worth 10 points. I do want to preface on the coaching portfolio, what's once again I'll talk about here in just a little bit more, but be very intentional about reading through all of these details about the coaching portfolio so that you are sure that you add everything into the portfolio that's necessary. If you do that, you should score well. The coaching portfolio should be completed in a Prezi, SMORE, or an iMovie Maker. If you're not familiar with any of those, don't be alarmed. You have plenty of time. I'll show you a couple places where you can uh, view some examples of what other students in the past that performed well, what they did. Find you details of where to access, how to make one of these. It's not uncommon to begin the course. I have quite a few students who are um, a little nervous or scared about developing something like this, and 100% of the time by the end of the course, the student feedback is okay, I was able to do that. Even though I might not be that tech savvy, I was able to go ahead and do something. And these are all free; they don't cost you anything. During your coaching portfolio, once again, involving technology here, the Prezi or the SMORE or iMovie or something like that, make sure you include a page or two or a slide or two, I guess I should call it, about the context. Probably a good at least page of the topic and a goal. Here's some details. How you planned. There should be a slide or two. And then a large chunk of the points, and I'll show you how that's broken up here in a second, is the actual implementation and reflection. This is the actual, you're going to record videos of you doing a pre-observation with a teacher that you work with. And then, 20 or 30 minutes recording the actual observation of a teacher. Record, I need to be able to see it. And then obviously we'll be talking about how to provide that teacher with feedback, but show me the video of the pre-observation with you and that teacher sitting down, discussing some things prior to the observation. Record the actual observation, and then I need a video of the post-observation where you are going through, providing them feedback and all that. Yes, I'll admit this puts a lot of people out of their comfort zone, but it's okay. It's all right. It's just you and the other teacher with a video camera. I don't show these. I don't blast these all over and show them to everybody. But so obviously you're going to be putting these videos inside. You're going to be embedding them into the Prezi or the SMORE that you develop at the end of the class. So why am I asking you to so quickly tell me your plan? I've learned that if I make you guys put a plan in place, figure out what teacher you're going to work with, and ask around somebody in your building, make a plan on when you're going to do a pre-observation, when you're going to observe them, when you're going to do the post-observation, get familiar with the Kentucky framework of teaching, do the peer observation training. This is essentially, I guess I should have led off with a peer observation, just like many of you are doing in your schools. Essentially, this is what you're doing. You're recording that pre-observation, you're recording the pre-observation, you're recording the post-observation. You're just providing them feedback. You're not evaluating them, but you're providing them feedback. You're not an administrator, so. All right, then the last one should be, I would think a couple slides of just the reflecting after you're all done, providing, going through the observation, providing he or she some feedback, reflect on it, and some follow-up. Do you think there might be some best practice and stuff? Put that into some slides. So of the 100 points, the context of it will be worth 10 points. Obviously, you want to look over here at distinguished on these. These are some things that you need to make sure that you do when you develop your portfolio so you can get full credit. Make sure you do these so that you can get full credit. The goal or the topic, remember, put a couple slides in there about it. Here's the component. Make sure you do these things and include that in your portfolio. That when I grade you using the rubric, when I view your portfolio, that way you perform well. It's not a secret on how you're going to be graded. You've all used rubrics before, the instructional goal topic. Here's part of it. Make sure that this occurs as well. The planning and implementation, 50 points. So half of it comes for this, and there's quite a few components here. Here's the component. If you want all the points, obviously make sure you're doing everything in the distinguished column. You do all these, clearly you're going to get all the points for them. All right. I said worth 50 points. There's a lot of it. And then lastly, the reflection portion of it. Here are the components, and the distinguished part will get you all of the credit in the right-hand column by doing all of those. I'm sorry, there was one more, and then the communication part. Here's the component, and then here is the distinguished part to get you the full credit, the full 10 points on the communication part of the coaching portfolio. All right, lastly then, overall, big picture view of the course. There are 250 points in the course, 25 for the peer observation training, 4 discussion boards worth 10 points each, so it's 40 points total. The facilitator reflection, that each of you will be the facilitator for 1 week, and then after the fact, the week after, you'll do a 3 to 4 page reflection worth 25 points. The reflection on the TEL survey, the analysis paper on the co-teaching videos, the coaching portfolio plan is due week 1, and at the end of the course, when you submit for 100 points, the co-teaching portfolio. Like I said earlier, I can't preface enough. Don't wait until the last 2 weeks to do this. I'd go ahead and get started, especially with the winter season that is, and things need to be rescheduled because of weather. When you planned on playing somebody to observe somebody, and then you had a snow day, plan ahead of time. That way you have more than plenty of time. Ideally, I would think that by I don't know, maybe end of January, that you've done the pre-observation, observation, post-observation, and you've done and that way you've done all of the recording of all that stuff. That way you have a full 3 weeks or so to put your technology portion, the Prezi, the SMORE, whichever one you decide to use, put all that together and have time to put that together in a portfolio of some sort. All right, so there covers the syllabus. All right, next, class assignment due dates. Got a lot of feedback. Students like this. Basically, I just spelled it out for each week when things are due. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can tell almost everything is due on the Sunday of that week. I'm not going to look at it on Sunday most of the time. I probably will look at it on Monday sometime. Just make sure that you've completed everything by that Sunday. Obviously, this week, the peer observation training, I'm going to show you the details about that here shortly, and then the coaching portfolio plan. Both of these are due on Sunday, January 15th. I don't care if you submitted on 11:59 that night. It makes no difference to me. You guys are adults. But here's everything. The only thing that I want to preface that's not really doing on a Sunday is the final coaching portfolio. I mean, these take a while to grade, so I do need some time. Week 6 I kept very light on purpose. The only one would be the facilitator the week before. They'll have their paper due, but for the most part, you'll have week 6 that'll be pretty light. So I'm asking that your coaching portfolio be posted once again in Moodle and in live text sometime before the end of the day on Wednesday, February 22nd. And then I do provide 5 bonus points just by completing the course evaluation. All right. Next, let's look at the requirements for the weekly discussion forums and the facilitator. Okay, it's easier if you look at the facilitator first. So each week, the person who's the facilitator in your group, they're responsible for facilitating the discussion. They're kind of call them the guide on the side. They are going to provide the article to the group, post a link to that article, something that deals with, I don't care what it is, as long as it deals with some sort of instructional coaching. Provide that link at the very, very beginning of the week to the rest of the members in your group, and then be a facilitator. Ask open-ended questions to stir up conversation with your group. And remember, you guys' groups they're small. They're only 4 people. So when you're the facilitator, there's only going to be 3 others in your group. So ask open-ended questions, and all that stuff. As a facilitator, you are responsible that week for only making one substantive post of 250 words. I'm not counting the words. Just you still need to have read the article, and yes, you are asking open-ended questions throughout the week to stir up conversation with your peers, but you also do need to read the article, put your 2 cents in about the post on, reflect on it. What do you think is ultimately what's the article boil down to? What are your opinions? What did it cause you to think about? And then the week after is when you basically are going to Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Basically, the week after, you are going to be talking about and doing a reflection on that, about your week reflecting. The other people in the group that are not the facilitators that week, you need to read the article that the facilitator posts. You need to make sure that you've posted at least 3 substantial posts each week. So based on that article and based on the feedback and the dialogue that you've had back and forth with your peers, I need three posts of 250 words or more sometime that week. All of them should be turned in by that deadline. I don't think it's best practice for you to type all 3 of them on Sunday because you need to be a good peer, and that dialogue should be going on all week. So if I'm you, we'll expect that the facilitator to put that article out the first day or two of the week, and maybe try to make sure that you complete your first one by Monday or Tuesday, and your second one by Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, and your last one sometime that weekend or something like that. So that should hopefully answer everything for that. Here's some more information for when you're the facilitator. The week after, make sure you read this well, 3 to 4 pages, doing some reflecting. You might do a little bit of research on best practice and stuff like that. So if you have questions, obviously feel free to email me. The first day of class, Monday, January 9th, I do need for you to answer these 2 questions here in this forum. Don't get any points for it, but it is something that basically it's just up to you to get you credit for just participating in the course. It's a Georgetown requirement. And I do want to preface that you need to check your Georgetown email a couple times a week. I send out reminders. I put out some overall feedback or something that may have occurred that week that maybe somebody asked a question that was like, hey, that's a good point. I need to tell everybody in the course that. So I'll email you to your Georgetown email, but you do need to check that a couple of times a week. All right, so that's an overview of the big picture. Now looking at week 1. So week 1, you have you have 2 different things that are due. You do need to do your coaching portfolio plan. Here are just some ideas about developing your coaching portfolio. Basically, these are just some open-ended questions for you to think about that you might need to prepare for in being adequately prepared for your coaching portfolio. So here's some questions. I don't expect you to answer each one of them. I think to be fully prepared, it would probably be good to answer each one, but just give me a narrative, a short, I don't know, maybe 1-pager, just describing everything that you do the first week to prepare yourself for the next 6 weeks to do well in the coaching portfolio. Review some data of that classroom. Who are you going to observe? Schedule some dates for the pre-observation, observation, post-observation. Some data from their classroom or their department or their school. Review the Kentucky teaching framework. Reviewing the rubric that's going to be used to score you at the end. Make a decision. Are you going to do a Prezi? Are you going to do a s'more? Are you going to do some other sort of technology platform? Do you need to reserve a video camera and a tripod? Things like that. It's general. Use good grammar and proper grammar in English, but just type me a 1-pager and submit that. It's just those who fail to plan to fail. I need for you the first week to plan well. I definitely want to emphasize view some of the examples under week 7. There's I think I want to say like 5 or 6 examples, s'mores and Prezis. I don't care which one. Those are the ones I prefer, and the feedback I've got from students they prefer. If there's something else you'd rather use, I'm open to it. I guess let me know, but view some of those. I think it'll really clear up some of your questions that you might have if you see what some of the other students have done, but they're under week 7 of the course. Also this week, worth 25 points is the peer observation training. Here are the directions. Here's where you go to sign up, and once you're done with the training, you do get a certificate. Just post a copy of that certificate here, and you'll get 25 points for it. Week 2, here's the first time you'll see them are your groups. So week 2, group 1 is Tamara, Jennifer, Micah, and Anna. Group 2 is Sarah, Emily, Elizabeth, and Sylvia. Group 3 is Ashley, Lauren, Leanne, and Casey. So we have 3 groups. The red people are the ones that are facilitators for week 2. So Tamara, Sarah, and Ashley, you're going to need to be finding an article and post that early into week 2. I mean, even if you went ahead and posted it week 1, there would be nothing wrong with that. Not expected to, or would be deducted for not doing so. But you guys are the facilitators for your group. So once again, this is group 1, this is group 2, this is group 3, but these are the facilitators, the ones in red for week 2, and then so on and so forth. I tried to make sure and put plenty of details up here each week. You obviously need to be reading these chapters from your book during week 2, and then here's where you would post your article and provide where you guys have your discussion that I'll be looking at. You don't need to really do anything right here for this right here. This is just where I go and grade them. And then I did provide you in week 2, I would like for you to go ahead and look at the framework for teaching and some examples of the pre and post observation questions. Once again, would be very useful for you when you begin doing your peer observation. Week 3 is very similar in the fact that we have your different groups. Here's your facilitators for that week, the ones in blue. No different than the week before. The only thing additional is everyone's expected to do a TEL survey reflection. I provide where you can find the TEL surveys, the rubric that we use to score when I score your papers, and then you just post them here. And then here are some PowerPoints and some short videos that you'll need to watch. Week 4 is the week 4 discussion with the green group facilitators. Some more videos to watch. Week 5, no different than most weeks, an article, a chapter read in your book. You do have an analysis paper here. The analysis paper is dealing with, the week 4 videos and the week 3 videos. So once again, in week 5, you're dealing back with week 3 and week 4 videos. You have an analysis paper. Here's a description of it. Here's where you can find the rubric on how I will score your paper. And then no different than the other weeks, you have your discussion group. As I said earlier, week 6, I tried to leave light on purpose. Here's some information about how to make a Prezi. Here's some information on how a s'more presentation works. And that's really it for that week. I probably need to emphasize again, if you're the week 2 facilitator, Tamara, Sarah, and Ashley, your reflection isn't due until week 3. And you would poke, during week 3, facilitator reflection for week 2. So whatever week you're the facilitator, the following week is when your reflection is due. So that's the only other thing that's due during week 6. So, except for the people that were facilitators during week 5, that, obviously during week 6, your reflection will be due. But for the most part, I've kept it light on purpose to give everybody some undivided attention and time to put on their portfolio. And then the last week of the course, week 7, basically finish up your coaching portfolio. I do want to put a note to all of you. This is an Excel document that a lot of people like when you're making your observation. Basically, it gives you the ability to just script. You type something as the teacher's saying it or doing it, or the students in the classroom are saying and doing it, hit enter, it immediately timestamps it for you. You just, forget about thinking. I just script. Nothing but what you see, what you hear, and you're typing like crazy. Here's 4 examples of the coaching portfolio and 2 other ones that I talked about. And as I said earlier, the multimedia coaching portfolio is due Wednesday, February 27th. It should be just copy and paste in a Word document a link to find where I can view your s'more or your Prezi. Put it in a Word document, upload it to LiveText and to Moodle, and then obviously go complete the course evaluation. Here's a form for completing that evaluation, the course evaluation. Complete that, and I'll give you 5 bonus points. So I hope you found this to be very helpful to to kind of see a big picture of the entire course, that's it. That's everything. There may be some specific follow-up questions or things that you would like me to elaborate, but please feel free to contact me at my Georgetown email. Anytime you have a question, you'll notice usually at the beginning of each week, I'll send out some reminders of, hey, this is what you should be doing this week, things like that. But one last time, I want to preface, make sure you're checking your Georgetown email 2 to 3 times a week. Class, I'm here for you if you need me. I look forward to working with each of you, and good luck.